Hey, what's up, everyone? Thanks for tuning in. Today was a difficult one. So it was chaotic, to say the least, and that's all because I made some not so great decisions. So at the moment, I'm setting up realized confirmed trades up $508, but I still have a position open, and it's not looking too good right now with AHPI. And anyways, I'll dive into the recap here, show you guys what happened today. And like I said, it was chaotic. There was so much that happened. So I'll try to cover it the best I can here, but there's might be a few little things I might be missing here and there. But anyways, we'll pull up the overall progress report here on my performance. This is what it was looking like. I traded really well this morning into the mid-morning. I did awesome. Really good trades. First trade out of the gate, up $98. I just worked all the way up from there. Really well. Got up to about, what was it? Before I got into the chaoticness. Yeah, it was right here. 15th trade of the day. I got up to $850. So great spot to be in, for the day. $850. I could have walked away. Now, I told you guys I did have a position with Newegg that I've been shorting for the last few days, and I was planning on holding that for a while. However, I had to sell it today. And it's partially because of all the other trades I made today. So to really kind of sum this up, I'll get into some of the trades in just a moment, but to sum up what happened, the chaoticness, is I had to sell out of that position because I got so leveraged today with my margin, and particularly going short, that I ran out of liquidity, basically. And some of the trades that I got into, because I was shorting on the other end and holding positions on that, I actually couldn't sell. So I had to liquidate some positions in order for me to sell the other positions that I was in. So it was kind of a whole chaotic dance here. And I guess I jumped in too far as how much leverage I was holding, because I guess I got to consider that I am still holding like the AMC position, and currently right now that's like a $5,000 position, and so I've used up a lot of capital. So a lot of the trades I made today got me into a really thin position, and at one point I basically had a margin call for $40, unless I sold a position. So I sold another position I was holding, and was able to free that up and trade again. But I was, in a sense, kind of locked out of trading momentarily on some of my positions. Now let's look at what I actually traded today real quick. Works, which was a great stock at first. I think it kind of went downhill after that. So I had a bunch of trades on Works. I traded BLIN just a little bit in the morning, and AHPI was the main one I focused on today. Had quite a few trades on that, and let's dive into that one, and I'll show you kind of what happened, kind of a general overall status here. So this stock was looking excellent today. Now, this one, let's say, okay, where was it? 760. Yeah, I think it was 730. Okay, so yeah, this chart was looking excellent, and it started slow, right? And eventually got a lot more volume because it went into this halt here. It opened up, rushed up a bit, pulled back. Kind of volatile, so I didn't necessarily jump right in right away. But once I got into here, started jumping in, making some more trades. I actually think I got a trade in here. But anyways, good stuff all throughout here. And then we got to this zone here where I thought And when you don't know what the future holds, I was looking at this and thinking, okay, did we possibly kind of hit the high for the day? And it was earlier in the day, so I was kind of in the wrong. I called that incorrectly. But anyways, I decided to short it right in here at 7. I think I hopped in around 7:30. Excuse me, 687 is where I'm holding at. So hopped in at 687 for a short. Now this is when I changed. I was long all up until here. I hopped in here at 687 for a short, and it started, pulling down pretty hard. And at that point, I was like up $100. So I could have sold right there and added that $100 to the top of my day. It probably would have put me at about $900 on the day, which would have been excellent. Instead, I held it because I thought it might continue down and it would just go downhill. Because real quickly, if we look at the yearly chart on this, it's had an incredible run. Now, this is where it got tricky for me. It was kind of a difficult point to kind of analyze this stock, because we had this huge run in the past, massive run from, what was it, $3 to $45. That's insane. And I don't know if there had to be some catalyst, some news going on there. And anyways, a very impressive rip. So I was kind of looking at the chart, and has made some of those pops in the past, but it's all gone downhill. So as I was looking at it today, I was kind of seeing this trend, and I thought, okay, if we hit this area here, it still looks like it's got a slope down. I'll try to show you here. Come on. Yeah, it was a little bit higher than that. But anyways, you get the general idea, kind of trending down from here. So at that point, I thought it might hit up here and maybe just slightly go past it and eventually pull back. But we got a stronger runner than that. And I just kind of messed up, and I shorted it way too early into the day, thinking that was kind of the high. And this, had way more room to go. So let me pull that off. Yeah, this had plenty. What's with this chart here? I'm having some problems. One sec here. Huh. That's weird. I can't. There we go. Okay. So yeah, that was my kind of idea in here. I was shorting it. And anyways, I held the position, and the thing, still holding it, and it flipped. It reversed and just, boom, just exploded from there. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe we've got a little bit further to go, but it will turn at some point. My kind of mindset was just that, what goes up will come down. So even if it goes a little bit more, I think I'm still okay to hold it. And that was kind of, the mistake there. I should have just sold it, and I didn't. So now I'm on this ride going up. So I figure, hey, let me hold the short. I can hold that position. And for the time being, I can just trade this to the long side. So that's what I did. I got back in, started trading it a ton. But as we got up to this point, that short position was looking really bad. I guess I was down, what was it? 1,500, maybe a little bit more than that. And eventually we got this break here and break to the downside. And it was a strong push, and it just trended down. So it got me feeling much better about my short position, thinking, okay, here we are, looking much better. I expect maybe a little bit of bounce around VWAP, but then, seeing that it faded too, felt even better. But then we got to this point here, and we're kind of based out. And I was hoping that we'd break past $7 to the downside, but we didn't get it. That was kind of a support line there. And then we get, this next huge wave just uphill. So, once again, what happened for me is that I got into this area where I wanted to keep trading it, but holding that short position, I guess the way my margin was going, I was over levered, and I didn't have really much capital to use to trade into the long side. So I kind of got cut out of I did trade some of it, but I couldn't fully trade it, I guess, to my capital's, full potential here. So that's where I really screwed up, is holding that short position, and I'm still holding it at the moment. So my average cost there, 687. I've got to wait for it to get down below 687 to profit off this thing. So I was really worried because, once again, you look at this yearly chart, and I believe there had to be some kind of catalyst on this area here. But what gave me still a little bit more confidence, I didn't see any news for this stock today, so it got me thinking it would be more of a pump and dump, where it's just going to rip and just going to completely pull back. And I had to wait all day to, we're at this point here at 813, so it's looking better to the downside. I'm feeling a little bit more, a little bit better on this, because it has hit, which looks like some of its highs, and now we're hitting this area here, this $8 area. And I think if it breaks past this, which it looks like it's going to do here, the next support line is $7. I want it to go past that, but it's still got a ways to go. So I'm underwater on it right now, only down $580 on it. And my current realized for the day is 500. So while this was all taking place, what I had to do, this is what got everything really chaotic, is once I saw this whole big move go into the upside, I wanted to trade it more, and I had to sell out of my some of the positions that I had. So with one of the positions I was holding to the short side, which was actually, I did a great job on this trade here, which was for Newegg. So you guys know from the past, I was trading it this day. I shorted it at 70.60, so great price there. And for the last couple of days, it's just been trending down, which has been great for me. And I just decided to keep holding it. And I'm really glad I decided to do that, because today was it was kind of a fake out. Looks like it was going to rip up a bit, but I kept holding it and went to the downside, which is great. And then we got into here in this zone here, into 34, right in this spot. And I wanted to keep holding it because I thought it did have potential to keep moving down. But if I wanted to trade AHPI, I had to get out of these positions, because I had a margin call for like $40, and I had to sell off some positions. So I sold that position, and I want to show you guys. That's where it put me up. Let's see. I was up $1,000 on the day with AHPI. I was feeling good on that. I just decided to, hey, I'll cut the Newegg position, and I was sitting up almost $1,700 at that point. Well, I guess it was 15 actually, and sold it there. So that put me up $2,500 on the day. So incredible. Even though I wanted to keep holding Newegg, I cut it, and that put me up, $2,500. So great place to be sitting. Now I still ran into this issue, because as I kept trading AHPI, my problem there, I started sizing up big time. So there was a few points where I actually hopped in with 1,000 shares, and that was basically $9,000, $10,000 in that position. So quite a large position, and I kept running into that liquidity issue where my account was drained so much that I either couldn't add positions, or it was this weird thing where I couldn't even actually sell. Sometimes if I would buy with my margin requirements, I couldn't sell at certain positions. So I had so many trades I was trying to just equalize on, and it was an absolute mess. So there was a combination of my size being just too big today to try to hit real big winners, and probably trading too much as well. So I ended up dumping, if you guys know, I had 3 swing trade positions for AMC, GME, and COS. Now GME and COS, I was kind of willing to part with, so I did. They were heading downhill, I think, on the play of AMC. I was positive on those positions, like I think up 100 and 200 bucks on GME, and I just decided to cut those because I could part with those and just maybe eventually try to buy in lower. But the whole idea on those was I was swing trading those and waiting for a pop if AMC eventually pulls through. And AMC just, downhill all day today. So I parted ways with GME and COS on a positive note, so that's a good thing. And that gave me more liquidity to get back to AHPI and start trading that a little bit more. Now, I got way too cocky and confident with AHPI because it was running hard. And like I said, I went in with bigger size. And what happened here is I just started draining on my profits, which was sad because, being up 2,500 with that new egg position was a good spot to be in. And here I am. My next trade right after that was AHPI, and I lost basically $1,000 on that because I had a huge size. I was going in for a big swing, and it didn't work out, so I lost $1,000 right there. And from there, just slowly drifting downhill, just trying to get back to, damn, kind of revenge trading, which is no good. And then I made a nasty big trade on AHPI. I can't say that. And that took me from $1,500 to $388. So a massive swing to the downside. And mind you, I go all the way up to $2,500 and managed to burn that all the way down. So ate up a lot of my profits with the new egg position, which I was sad about because that was a $1,500 winner. Now I did hold it for a few days, so whatever. But and as I look at it now, it's after hours with AHPI, and I am still in my short position. So now I'm looking better and better and better. So down $300 on that. I'm looking for it to break 680. I was hoping this would happen earlier in the day here, but man, when it found that support line and just ripped, I was really worried because in that past, we saw this massive rip, and I thought, man, if traders hop on this and we start pushing some of these areas, if we get past 12 or something, this thing could skyrocket, and this short position could be extremely nasty. So I don't know. I kind of knew in the sense that since there's no catalyst, there's no news on this from what I see. I just thought what goes up must come down, at least at some point. So I figured to myself, worst case scenario, I hold this short position, and I hate to do that, especially into the next day if it pops really hard and goes even farther. Because you can just get these crazy short swings that really just squeeze out shorts, and I didn't want to be a part of that. And you can have, that's the thing about shorting, is you can have your losses are almost infinity to some degree, and you're going to be at risk of getting probably a margin called to cover your position because it's just gotten so negative. But anyways, I thought what goes up must come down. And at that point, I'm still kind of correct on that. I'm just having to wait for it. And who knows, this could find more support at 6 or 7 here and maybe curl back up, but I doubt it. The chart looking here is just looking, I don't know, I'd say pretty bearish. So we'll see. Hopefully I can close out of this position today after hours, hopefully neutral, and keep my $500 profit for the day. But we'll see. I might have to close it out sooner than later. We'll see. But yeah, today was absolutely chaotic. A lot of stuff going on, and I didn't realize this, but with the way I was sitting with my margin, I guess there's so many calculations that go into how E-Trade takes the risk management, because there are certain things, there are certain stocks you know, they'll allow you to borrow, but then there's borrow rates on them, and there's also calculated daily interest on it. And so the way I was just sitting in my margin account was I was just so over levered that it was weird. When I actually bought a position to the long side for AHPI, it wouldn't allow me to actually sell that. It would only allow me to sell a certain amount, because at one point, like, I remember having 100 shares of it. I bought it and 100 shares, and then as it's moving higher, I'm trying to sell that 100%, and it says I have insufficient funds. And I knew that I had to deal with my margin account, so I had to liquidate those other positions, and then that gave me a chance to actually sell it. At that point, I could actually sell it. But it was weird. I've never been in that position before where you can't sell due to your over-levered position. So that's a first for me. So it's kind of a learning experience for me. I don't short a whole bunch. I'm typically always trading to the long side on most trades. I've been trading a little bit more shorts now here, but that was my first encounter, I guess, with being locked out of selling to the long side because of my my current holdings. So kind of crazy stuff. Maybe just be aware of that. You know, the shorting is risky. Kind of got to know what you're doing. And I'm not a pro. Just, you know, learning from my mistakes. And I guess the goal there is to not make big enough mistakes to where they, you know, can really blow you out of the water. But looking okay. I did kind of recover today, but it's still disappointing because I did blow out a lot of profits on this stock today. So I think the only thing that helped me really recover was that nice long short position. Sorry, not long. Long time frame for me. That swing trading to the shorting it really worked out for me. And this one, hey, this worked out definitely in that sense of what goes up must come down. And I knew with Newegg, just so much momentum going into this that it was trading so rich that at some point it really had to come down hard. And we've had this slow bleed off the last couple of days. So that was a great short for me. Really good trade there. But I did have to cut it today. I could have kept holding it because I covered at 34. And here we are now at 31. Not a huge difference. It was a smaller position for me, but hey, it's done, and glad it's all done with at this point. This one still might have more room to move to the downside. I think it might go down to 20. Looks like on the yearly chart here, it could push all the way back down to 20 or even 15 or something. Who knows? Who knows where it'll base out here? Anyways, guys, that pretty much wraps it up. I'll hit the calendar real quick for you. Still not looking that great with the calendar, but just trying my best here. And today was not necessarily a solid one. I'm green, but I still have that one position, so I got to close out. 508 today puts me up through 837 on the week. Still found $1,000 on the day. Yeah. Some days they just kind of get to you. So I know a few of you have been recommending, and kind of agree with you guys. Sometimes you just need to get in there, trade the morning, trade the mid-morning market, make your money and get out. And sometimes that is just the way to be, and you can go off and enjoy the rest of the day. Sometimes though, I don't know, I love to trade, so when I see opportunities, whether it's to the long side or the short side, I want to get in there and trade, and I guess that's probably a good piece of my fault. So yeah. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this one today. Take care. I want to find out how you guys traded AHPI today. Was it a good trading day for you, or was it chaotic for you? Were you all over the place? It was a very interesting chart. I mean, very volatile. especially later in the day. I did try to trade this area, but it was look at how whippy this is. You get this flash to the downside, and then it completely retraces and comes back and goes a little bit past it. So that was the kind of stuff you're trying to deal with. It can get pretty tricky trading this stuff. And hey, look at the results here. I mean, all this craziness right here, this zone, happened later in the day. So I think it got super crowded. There's so many traders in it, which just made it that really whippy chart, that very volatile. And I mean, we did have volatility early in the day as well, but maybe a little bit more cleaner. Still tricky either way, but yeah. So that's it, guys. Take care. Have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow.